Hi, I'm Jo from J.H.Leather, and in this episode of the podcast, we're talking about my recent trip to Scotland, some impending new merch, and why I make YouTube videos. So it's been a hot minute since I've last done one of these, and so an awful lot has happened in the 2 months that it's been since the last video. Noticeably, how fast time goes. It seems crazy and strange that so to me it feels like it's been so long since the last one, but also actually it hasn't been in the grand scheme of things. So we didn't have a podcast last month because we were actually on holiday in Scotland on our boat, and we had a lovely time. So the time that we went earlier this year, it really wasn't very good in terms of we both came back feeling a bit down on it. Like the weather wasn't great and we didn't accomplish anything new. We didn't go really anywhere new that trip, but this one totally made up for it. It was amazing. So we were up there for 3 weeks and we did a couple of things that were really quite high on our list of things to do, and one of which was going around the Mull of Kintyre, and that is quite a daunting thing to do in itself, I think. And so we've never done it before, and the way we did a lot of research into it. We wanted to make sure we hit it at the right time for us, because it was where two sort of tides can't get my words out. It's where two tides meet, and so it can get quite rough around there, and you've got to make sure you're going with the tide, because actually not going to make any headway because you're just going to be pushing against it the whole time. Anyway, for us, that time was 2 a.m. on the day that we went. So we did it in the dark. It's fair to say there were a couple of code brown moments, but we got through it. And it's one of those things, and when you get to the most scary, worst part of it, basically, I mean, we couldn't see, which was the main issue, obviously being dark. And basically we hit this standing wave, and it just come out of nowhere, and it was just oh my goodness, it was what have we got ourselves in for? But also at that point you can't do anything to get out of that. You're going through. So our boat, generally when we're on engine, will be going about, it averages about 5 knots usually, but with the tide pushing us as well, we got up to just over 10 knots, which was absolutely crazy. So you're going quite fast in boat terms. So the good thing is, because if you got that much speed, you're not in the really scary rough part for long. But yeah, we couldn't decide at the time if it was better or worse not seeing what was coming, because you couldn't, I don't know, it was hard. It was you couldn't get scared to see it, but also it was very, very scary because you couldn't see it. So yes, we did that. That was interesting, and we weren't in the rough bit for long. It probably only lasted 5, maybe 10 minutes. We were going through some real big waves and things. But yeah, after that, it was nice. It was fine. We got through, and we got to a little island called the Isle of Gia, which was just beautiful, white sands. It was amazing. So we spent a couple of nights there, and I even went swimming, which I've not done in Scotland without a wetsuit before. So yeah, no, it was awesome. It was really good. And then we went up to the Isle of Mull as well for a few nights, to a place called Loch Spelvey, which was just beautiful. And where we anchored, there was a little seal colony around us. There was sort of 7 or 8 of them. It was just so magical, I think is the only way to describe that. And we'd get out, because obviously we've got Sky with us, so we needed to row out to shore in our little dinghy, and they were just they were still pretty far off, but 10 meters or so. We just see this little seal head bopping up, checking on us, making sure they knew where we were, and they were just so inquisitive and just wanting to see what we were doing. So that was just amazing. So yeah, we had just a lovely time up there, and then we went into Oban for a few hours just to get some supplies and things like that, and we met some lovely people there, and it was great because actually one of them, and it was something Tim wanted to ask someone anyway, and he actually came out with it, and he was just saying that basically if you go around the Mull of Kintyre 2 miles out, it's not rough at all. So we know that for next time. So that's something. And then started heading back. We actually came back through the Crinan Canal, which was a nice experience, because we'd done a couple lock gates before when we did a training week a few years ago before we got the boat, and we went for a couple locks then because the guy we did our sort of trip with actually kept his boat on one of the marinas that are on the lock. And so yeah, that was good. We did hire a guide for that to help us with the lock gates, which turned out to be quite a good idea because we didn't really know what we were doing. But yeah, so that was really good, and it was just a really nice, lovely experience, and we've got back okay. And it was a really good way because basically we're selling that boat now, or we're going to be. It's not up for sale just yet. We just got to finalize a few things. But yes, we're going to be selling that boat, and we're getting a new one to us, which is going to be a bit bigger, give us a bit more room. And yeah, so it was a really lovely way to round off the 3 years that we've had that boat, and we've grown so much with it. So yeah, really lovely time in Scotland. And it really doesn't seem like, we got back, I think, on the 2nd of August, and it really doesn't seem like we've been. It's weird. So it's just this weird time thing, and it's just like we haven't been back for long, but it seems like we've been back forever, and it didn't happen. It's really weird. But yeah, and it's been so busy this month, so sort of getting back, I pretty much took the rest of that first week off just to sort everything out, because I had loads of video stuff for my other channel which I haven't gone through yet, other than to put it where it's supposed to be, and I got loads of photos and I haven't gone through them either. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff to go through, so I just spent the rest of that week sorting everything out, getting everything straightened out and stuff, and then yeah, back to it from there on. And it's been incredibly busy. So I purposefully didn't put in any one-to-one training for August, just because I knew I was going to be really busy, and because next month, September, for me is going to be super busy as well. So I needed to get an awful lot of stuff filmed. Ideally, my plan was to film 2 months worth of videos in 1 month, which I almost have actually. So I filmed 5 videos, so just one short really, because I have the podcast as one of the weeks for the month sort of uploads. So basically uploading or releasing 3 videos per month plus a podcast. So I've got obviously this month's ones are done and it's the end of the month and I'm doing the podcast. But yeah, so I've got 2 filmed for next month, and I've got one of them edited so far. I should be able to get the other one edited this week, if not the week after. I can do that in the evenings because it's not going to be like a make along be the maker video. It's going to be a tool time, and this one's going to be all about the splitting machine because it's a really handy tool to have. It doesn't get used that often in my workshop, at least not at the minute, but they are really handy tools. So I thought it would be nice to share with you sort of what they're all about, how to get them sharp and how to make the most out of them. So that one I've filmed, so I don't need to do any voiceovers or anything like that. So the next make along video, which I've been working on, is going to be all about hound collars and sort of how to make them. And I'm releasing them in conjunction with an acrylic template set, because they're one of the templates that I got asked for. So I have done a padded hound collar video before, but a lot of the comments and a lot of the emails I got off the back of that were, are there templates for this? Can I get a template? And I do get quite a lot of messages asking about collar templates specifically for that one. So yes, they are coming. I've pretty much done them. I've got a few alterations to make from the ones that you see in the video, but what I'm going to do is add in a few more holes for where your stitch lines need to finish on the one end if you're going to make it into a padded one. And then I'm also going to add an extra 1/2 inch to the turn on the end of it, just so that you can also use them for a plain hound collar as well, just so that they're sort of multi-use. So yeah, and I've been working out sizes and stuff. So basically there's going to be like a small, a medium and a large, and they're all going to be available in 2 different widths, and they're based on sort of all the orders that I got. I went back through all of the orders that I had since setting up the business just to check out what widths were popular and what sizes were popular, and I've come up with this small, medium, large, which I think is going to cover pretty much the majority of dogs. Maybe, I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I might maybe bring out an extra large if needed, but I think those 3 sizes are pretty much going to cover everything. From the statistics, from what I looked at from my orders, those sizes cover all of the orders that I ever had. So I think they're good to go, especially once I do those little alterations with them. And then I've been working out, because obviously if they're padded, they come out a bit smaller than if they're non-padded. So working all that out. And so I think I'm pretty much there with them. But I'm also going to be releasing or having a custom hound collar templating service available, because the sizes that I come up with are ones that I like and ones that I think will work, but that might not work for everyone. And so the way I've always done mine is the turn and the point end are 3/4 of an inch on whatever size it is, and that may not be what you guys would like. So they are going to be a set and you can buy them individually, and I might put some packs together, and then I'm going to have this like custom service as well. And basically what that's going to be is so you can pretty much make your perfect template. So you can choose the length, the width of the turn and point, how many holes you want, how far apart you want your holes, and all of that. So you'll be able to get the template that you need for the collars that you like to make. So that is going to be an option. I just need to work out how to add that to the website because I am not totally sure on that at this point, but I think I can make it work. I just need to figure out how to add in all the extra drop down boxes and work all that out, and work out how to price them as well, because I haven't done that just yet. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be a nice video, I think, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it as well. So another exciting thing that happened this month was my knife got delivered. So a few years ago for my 30th, I treated myself to a handmade strap cutter, which is absolutely amazing and I love it to bits. And if you've seen my strap cutter video, it's the strap cutter that's in that tool time video, and it's just amazing and I love it. And so I've been wanting sort of like a Japanese style straight edge skiving knife for quite a while, and so I decided to treat myself to another handmade one from the same gentleman that made it, because that made the strap cutter, because it was just so good. And I was like, well, you know, it's something that I'm probably going to use quite a lot, and so it'll be nice just to have like a nice one. And I'm very fortunate, I know, to be in a position that I can sort of make some of these larger purchases or more expensive purchases on sort of some tools for something like a knife where I am going to be using it quite a lot. It was something that, like I said, I'm lucky to be in a position to do, and so I did. And so that arrived just as we got back from Scotland. I haven't actually had too much of a chance to use it yet because I've been busy making all the other videos that don't require it. However, I did get to make a video that I have had in my head for a little while, and that was the shorts that you've seen, or if you follow me on TikTok, it's been released on there, and it's been on my Instagram reels as well, and it's just a little bit of fun to make that. So the knife video idea came around. So I watch a lot of photography and video making channels on YouTube because I've got quite a big interest in that, and I'm quite nerdy, I guess. I like quite techie and nerdy videos, and so there's a few people that I follow on there, one of them being Peter Lindgren, and he does some really cool shots on his videos with his camera gear. So when I got the knife, I thought it would be quite a nice way to basically practice some of the things that I'd learned from his video, but also make a really nice little video for like Instagram and stuff like that, and to promote the vintage tool studios who make the tools. And I'm not sponsored by him. I've paid for everything that I've had from him. It's just, I just like his tools very much, which is why I quite like making little videos. And I'm very lucky to be in the position that I've got myself into, where I can sort of push other handmade crafters, and I'm going to do that because that's what it's all about, really. Helping other people. I mean, he's got loads of followers. I don't think he really needs my help, but it's nice to be in a position where I can help out a small crafter. But also, if any of you guys would like a tool or are looking for a tool, then he is a very good toolsmith. So yeah, anyway, back to the video. So it was sort of a Peter Lindgren meets Marks and Spencer's adverts. And so for those of you outside of the UK, M&S or Marks and Spencer's is quite a big brand over here, and they've got a sort of luxury food range, and the tagline that they liked to use in the videos, I don't know if they do them anymore in their adverts, but it was basically, this isn't just food, this is M&S food. And so that is what I was trying to channel for this video. This isn't just any knife. This is a handmade knife type affair. And so I wanted basically to do an M&S meets Peter Lindgren style video on my knife, because I thought that would be quite fun to do. So I did it. And yeah, I mean, a lot of the time, like when I'm making these shorts, like specifically like that one, it's because I feel that it would be fun to do. So there's a few like different reasons why I make the videos. Some of them is because like with this knife one, I think it'll be fun to do, and it gives me something different to learn in terms of it's different to film that and edit that differently, as well as just try out and see how that does, when it is released. And now I don't purposefully make videos for the views. I make the videos because like this one, they're fun to make, or they're sort of imparting knowledge in terms of, I've been doing this for, I think, 14 years, I think. This month, or September, it'll be 14 years in like the middle of September that I've been within the leathercraft industry. And I think I've said quite a lot of times the reason I love leathercraft so much, and I just want everyone to get into it, which is part of the reason why I started making the videos and stuff like that, just to help those of you who want to learn. And so I try not to chase the views. I think I did maybe earlier on, but now I make the videos to just try and get as much information out to you guys as possible, really. So for example, the Glowforge videos that I make, they don't perform very well views wise, but for those people who are looking for something specific, like doing the large prints or using leather in their machines, it's for those people who need that information or who want that information. And like with the XL prints video that I've done, it's not performed very well at all. I think it's one of my least well performing videos from the last 10 that's come out, but that doesn't really bother me, because if someone needs that information that took me days to find and work out, hopefully they can find this video now instead, and in 5 minutes have all the information that they need to go on and start using their Glowforge to do their extra large prints and all that sort of thing. So yeah, because I think it's one of those things, I think if you start chasing views on YouTube, then you're just gonna drag yourself down with it, really, because it's one of those things that I have no idea how that algorithm works at all. So the videos that I make are about imparting knowledge rather than getting views. So you will see videos that may not interest you, like the Glowforge ones, and maybe this knife shorts wasn't interesting to you, but it's one of those, I need to keep a balance between making videos that are fun for me to actually make, because I don't want to drag myself into a hole of just grinding videos out and stuff like that, because that's a really good method of just getting burnt out making them. So yeah, anyway, I don't know if that was going to make much sense, but that's why I make the videos. And I do hope that you enjoy the ones that do come out, and maybe one that comes out isn't for you, but maybe the next one is. It's one of those things. It doesn't bother me too much if people don't watch the videos. For me, it's okay, well, this knowledge is interesting, this is what I'm going to put out. So that's sort of been mostly what's been going on this month. There have been another couple of smaller things. So I have been trying to design and come up with some more merchandise for you all to enjoy, but this one's going to be a bit more non-specific, I guess would be the best way for it, because the first lot that I've done and are available are basically with a vintage logo that I commissioned. This next lot are going to be slightly different. It's going to be more of a slogan, and it's going to hopefully transcend a few different paths, I guess. I don't want to say too much about it now. I want to, when it's all ready, I will do a release and let you all know. But there is some more merchandise coming, and it's not going to have my name on it. So for those of you that didn't want to buy a t-shirt because it had my brand on, maybe these ones will be more interesting to you. And again, that's going to be through the spring store that I have chosen, just because I don't have the capacity to go out and buy thousands of pounds worth of merchandise, store it, and then send it all out. So basically it's a print on demand service, and you'll pick where you're based, and then it will be sent to you from there. So for example, I have to buy the samples, and so it's the same process. You pick where you are. So if you're in the US, you can pick the US. If you're in Europe, you pick Europe, and then it will get sent from a sort of local distribution center. So being in the UK, mine was printed and posted from within the UK. If you're in Europe, then it will be printed and posted within Europe, type thing. So that gets around sort of import stuff where possible, and yeah, it makes it a little bit quicker. So you have to keep your eyes peeled for that. And I actually had it in my mind for a couple of years now, actually, maybe thinking about releasing a Christmas jumper. And I know it's August as I am recording this, and I think, what date is this going out? It will possibly be August. Oh no, this is going out on the 1st of September. So I know it's going to be September, now, and Christmas is like way off. But if I am going to do a Christmas jumper, I think I might need some help with it. But I've got an idea in my head as to what I'd like it to be like. So I need to get thinking and really designing that as soon as possible so I can get it all tested and make sure it's going to work. And then, yeah, get it out to you guys so you can have it in time for Christmas. And so some other things to look ahead for. So September, I think I said earlier, it's going to be quite busy for me. Basically, I think I've said in the past, a lot of my family doesn't actually live in the UK anymore. So my dad actually lives in the US, and he has done for just over 16 years now. Both of my sisters live abroad as well. So my older sister has lived, I want to say 6 years, maybe 7 in Australia. And my younger sister she lives in New Zealand now, but I haven't seen her in almost 6 years, which is just crazy. So we're having a bit of a gathering. And so because they're like, my parents are separated, so I've got one weekend and sort of a week. Well, my sister's coming up for a few days because her partner's not been to the Wales before, so they're going to come up and he's going to get to visit Wales. And then we're going down to Devon, where my mum lives, and where my dad's friends are based, where he's going to be. And then we're going to go out for a weekend in Exmoor, which is going to be really nice there. So Exmoor, if you're outside of the UK, is a little national park down on in the southwest, and it's very beautiful. So we're going to go there for a few days, and then I'm home for about a week and a half, and then the rest of my mum's family live in Norwich, so we're then going to go there for a few days. So September is quite hectic, and I've also got a 4-day one-to-one workshop right at the beginning of September as well. So yeah, September is going to be incredibly busy for me, but it's fine. Like I said, I've sort of planned ahead for that. So I've already got one video done, and it's currently uploading as I'm recording this. I've got the tool time video is recorded and just needs editing, and I've got an idea for the other video that I want to do, which I think I'm going to try and film in between family events. And yeah, and then it's going to be October, which is just crazy and goes back to my earlier point of how fast time is going at the moment. It's crazy, isn't it? But I think that's probably about it, I reckon, for this episode. So thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider subscribing to the podcast. And I'll see you. I won't. This is a podcast. And well, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you next time.